right, so trying something new this year. Um, Last couple seasons I did blogs on the Bills and how I felt and what I thought about them. Obviously, I was a lot more active when they were uh, tanking, in my own words, and then they ended up going to the playoffs for the first time in my lifetime. Um, but I was very adamant on a few quarterbacks in that draft. I believe it was Darnold, Rosen, and Allen, and they ended up getting Allen. So I mean, it is what it is. But so I'm coming back again. Now that I've had Allen for a year, I'm coming back with a vlog now because I'm frankly just lazy. I don't feel like typing. I don't feel like sitting here and trying to articulate words to relate to everybody. I'd rather just sit here and talk, honestly, and drink. So that's what we're gonna do this year. It's gonna be quick, maybe 10 minutes a week. Um, I'm gonna vent a lot, but I'm not gonna be like trying to be trendy like all these other people who are looking for subscribers and whatever. So I'm just here honestly for the people that read my blogs a couple years ago and who always asked me to keep writing them and stuff. This is just easier for me. I can obviously just be more relatable, kind of talk to you guys and enjoy some beverages and watch sports on the TV up here while I'm talking. So we'll do that. Some days will definitely be uglier than others. Some days will be happier than others. We'll ride the roller coaster together. If you're a Bills fan or not, we'll see. But we'll have some fun. So to open this up, today the Bills cut down to the 53-man roster. Didn't want to really get into the preseason or any of that kind of bullshit because obviously nobody cares. So my thoughts on the 53 really quick were two things that stood out to me were the wide receivers that they kept and released. Obviously, I'm not a fan of Zay Jones. I don't really know if a lot of people are in Buffalo, but it's not really because of like his drops and stuff like that. It's just more because I felt like there were better people on the roster this preseason, and they traded up to get him in the second round. He had a ton of production in college, so I mean I can understand kind of where they're coming from, but at the same time, man, like you got some guys like Duke Williams and Ray McLeod who kind of really showed out this preseason and training camp. So I was a little upset to see that those guys got let go and Zay Jones stayed, but hopefully he kind of shows out to his prospects coming out of the draft. Why they traded up to get him. We'll see if it works out. Obviously the big one, Shady. We'll keep it short. 9 million cap hit. Drafted a kid in the third round, Singletary. Signed Gore, signed Yeldon. You've heard it all. But I will say, as as I'm recording this, about 5 minutes before I recorded it, Shady just got signed to the Chiefs, which is a great pickup for them and for him, and reunited with Reed, and I think that's great. Good for him. It kind of clears up the backfield here a little bit. Obviously, Singletary will be the guy. Maybe not right away, but down the stretch. But I would say my big thing here is like I think Yeldon's going to be a little bit bigger of a part of this offense than people think. I think at the end of the day, he's going to be, he's maybe going to have more production than the other two guys in Gore and Singletary. We'll see. Obviously, Singletary is the future, so. Moving on. I mean, I gotta say, man, I've been saying it for a long time. Year now. Jerry Jeudy, if you don't know who that is, I gotta say, because I've been watching his highlights. Jerry Jeudy is the best college wide receiver I've seen play since Sammy Watkins, and before Sammy Watkins. I'm not just saying that as a Bills fan, because obviously that turned out horrendously. He is so special. He plays for Alabama. He's going to go in the top. I mean, he's a top 5 pick. He probably will go in the top 5. If not, he'll be in the top 10, regardless. He's the best receiver in the draft that is loaded with the receivers. He's one of the best route runners I've ever seen on tape. I will say this. I've not watched a ton of receivers in real life. I mean, Sammy Watkins was one of the best route runners I've ever seen. And Jerry Jeudy is just gonna be so special. I can't help but just watch and just my jaw. Yeah, so the Bills have no shot at him if they're gonna be even above like a 5-win team this year. So unless they wanted to trade up for him, and we all know what happened last time with Sammy, we'll see. But Jerry Jeudy, I just had to say that, man. He is so good. If you don't know about him, look him up. You'll hear about him this year for sure. One thing I want to say about the Dolphins today is I completely agree with what they're trying to do. Because, as all of you know, is very adamant about the Bills tanking 2 years ago to get one of these guys, one of these quarterbacks. I was very adamant about it because Tyrod Taylor, yada, 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 wasn't the answer. The Dolphins are, in principle, doing what I would want my team to do. Sell the farm. This quarterback class coming up is also very good. You got Tua, you got Herbert from Oregon, you got Jake Fromm, to name a few. Is it as strong as the quarterback class that was coming out when the Bills drafted Josh Allen? I mean, there's a whole season to be played, so we don't know, but it's pretty good. And then obviously next year, Trevor Lawrence, who's supposed to be the second coming of Christ. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen with him? But NCAA rules, so you can't even think about it till next year. So the Dolphins, it kind of made me laugh today because they're doing what I wanted the Bills to do. But before they did that, they had made this big push to trade for Jadeveon Clowney, which obviously went south, didn't happen. They tried to trade their all-pro left tackle, young star, Laramie Tunsil, reportedly, for Jadeveon Clowney, which would have been a rental. So that right there, it just doesn't make sense as it is. So you're trading for a rental because Clowney wasn't going to sign with you in the first place. You traded for Josh Rosen, a second or third round pick, for Josh Rosen, who was one of the guys in the draft. Dude's got potential. I mean, who knows what he could be. He had a fair shake in Arizona, obviously. They had other plans, but you trade for Josh Rosen. You try to trade for Jadeveon Clowney. You try to trade like big pieces in your franchise for Jadeveon Clowney. You don't get him. And then he even says he doesn't want to come to Miami. He doesn't want to play for the Dolphins. And then not even 12 hours later, they're selling the farm. They trade Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills for draft picks, and which I think they to the Texans. And I think they came away with highway robbery. Obviously, Tunsil's a good left tackle. He's young. He's still got a lot to prove. But you come away with a haul of 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Swap some players. You dump a salary of Kenny Stills, who's a good receiver, but he's got a big salary cap. Kind of the same thing as Shady McCoy, but they got a return for him. And so my whole thing is they got a haul for those guys, but 12 hours ago it was trade everything you got for a rental, and then a couple months ago it was trade a second-round pick, third-round pick for Josh Rosen. What are they doing? I don't know. I don't care to know. I hope it fails miserably. I hate the Dolphins. I hate the Jets, and I hate the Patriots. So, I mean, we're just being honest here. Obviously, you guys all know that. So, I don't know if I can swear on this thing, but fuck the Dolphins, and hopefully it all fails miserably for them. As far as, the preview for the season, I'm a realist. You guys know that. I think the Bills, I don't really buy into like schedules before the season starts. So I'm gonna say the Bills are gonna go like, man, if they finish 9-7 this year, that'd be amazing. But I think like an 8-8, 7-9 season is a little more realistic. I don't really care about the record. Obviously I do, but I care more about, is Josh Allen going to take that next step, yada, yada, yada. And if he does, then I don't think they finish 7-9 anyways, because the defense is going to be so good. So if Josh Allen does take that next step, then I think we're looking at, they're going to be in the hunt. They're going to be on the bubble again. But if he takes that next step, we got the defense. So I hate being that like homer, but I think they could be like a 9-7 team. I just think they could be, like, it being in the division they're in. Those 4 games with the Dolphins and the Jets are up for grabs. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'll be here every week, watch every game, and I'll try to report to you guys. Rain or shine. So that's all I got. I hope you guys tune in every week. And this is, like I said, this is a lot easier for me to talk than type. So obviously you can see my face, you can hear my voice, you can see how frustrated I'm going to be, which is going to be, hopefully not very often, but will probably be very often. So, hey, and also whatever the hell you guys want to talk about, man. I don't give a fuck. We'll do 15 minutes. 15 minutes a shot, 15-minute shift. And we'll talk about Jerry Jeudy. We'll talk about whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. So, all right, man. I will see you guys next week. Bills, Jets. I got the Bills in that one, but we'll do a preview here next week around this time. All right, guys. See you.